Rick Sanchez. In a distant realm, Earth is quite normal to the point that not a single thing is wrong, but as time passes, there seems to be one being in every reality who's the smartest throughout the universe, with there being an infinite non-cognizable amount of multiverses all being held under one term, the omniverse. This omniverse being unattainable to any being, even higher dimensional beings can't access this space, but there seems to be a mere human traveling throughout this omniverse with no care in the world, Rick Sanchez. This human being so smart that in order to make as much money as he wanted, he created a device that with one click searches through an infinite amount of timelines, merging a timeline that had successful stock market trades with his own. But what happens to the other infinite timelines, you ask? They're erased. But with Rick erasing countless parallel realities, the time police are after him, eventually catching him and sentencing him to the Clackspire Labyrinth, a high-dimensional space which has transcended time, and every being that is inside it faces every fear they can imagine, creating the perfect prison for any high-dimensional being. But as Rick is inside this Clackspire Labyrinth, he seems to be gaining his clothes, drinks, and even tech back, revealing he was the one who secretly created this reality outside of dimensionality itself, escaping the inescapable rewrite of higher-dimensional reality. This is all actually quite consistent, as another one of Rick's devices possessed power we can't even imagine, Rick's toaster. Although this toaster isn't just an ordinary one, it was designed to search through every reality throughout the omniverse, finding the perfect slices of toast in different realities. But with a bit of reworking, the toaster was turned into a weapon, one capable of collapsing all reality in on itself, destroying and transcending infinite multiverses. Rick persuading Morty to believe and understand more concepts in order to deactivate this toaster, as its dimensional rewrite was formed out of memories from other Mortys. With the series progressing on, we're shown that Rick is able to turn any object or thing into a sentient being, traverse and manipulate entire dreamverses, and to top it all off, Rick cannot die. If he's killed, a clone from an alternate infinite reality instantly replaces him, and the only way to counteract this is if you're able to destroy every timeline throughout the omniverse. But with all this omniverse talk, what is the actual cosmology of Rick and Morty? Beginning with the fact that throughout infinite timelines, we're already reaching fourth dimensional properties, but in season 6 episode 1, Space Beth states, "Stupid fifth dimensional stomach juices," then Rick going on to say way worse things than me can see that beacon too, indicating that fifth dimensional realities exist inside this omniverse, but this isn't where the chaos stops at all. In episode 6 of season 4, Storylord begins to explain the way the omniverse reacts with a metafictional train, but this metafictional train goes past the fifth wall at least, with the fourth wall being high 1B, the fifth wall being qualitatively superior to the fourth wall who sees the multiverse as fiction, scaling to 1A, and the sixth wall also being superior to the fifth wall, scaling one layer into 1A. This being quite consistent, as in issue 53 of the comic, Rick goes on a mission to obtain a so-called polyvector gem. Once obtaining this gem, explaining that it's an infinite dimensional structure as it extends infinitely into spatial dimensions, scaling to high 1B. But through a little bit of logic, we're able to see that inside this omniverse, each multiverse views each universe infinite small, and this gem residing inside a single universe, meaning that the multiverse transcends it, scaling to low 1A. So overall, we can comfortably say that the cosmology of Rick and Morty in a whole is reaching universal with ease. But what does this bring Rick's strength to? In season 6 episode 7, we're introduced to quite an interesting but overpowered character, Rat Can, the physical embodiment of the entire omniverse, scaling to outerversal, Rick being possibly stronger than him as he is able to negate plot abilities. Yeah, Rick's plot armor goes crazy, just like the Joy Boy we all know. So with all the feats we have currently gathered, Rick goes crazy, overall power scaling to complex multiversal, with him erasing infinite timelines over and over again, potentially defeating outerversal characters, manipulating entire dreamverses, and creating high-dimensional sentience around 6D. Rick's speed being scaled to massively faster than light plus, as he travelled 800 light years within almost no time. But even though this cocky genius is seemingly confident against everyone, Azathoth, an infinite layers into boundless being that is chaos, only chaos. So who knows how strong Rick Sanchez is, with only Azathoth being able to defeat him in Rick's eyes. I guess it's all down to prep time.